Stefs Rock Show. We've got incredible drummer, Lonny.
Yes.
But I want to say Looney. That's why I just paused for a second.
Now you're getting crazy, girl. Now
I
you're
know.
getting crazy.
I am crazy. So tell me about the beard. When did this start?
When did what start? Kill Devil Hill?
No, the beard. Doing like the little
as soon as I
ponytails.
joined Kill Devil Hill, I was like, oh, I got to look like them.
You wanted to train and have like a neat
Yeah, I'm
hair
like
ties?
in training.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So how did they approach you though to come up and drum with them?
Okay. There's a long backstory about this.
Okay.
So
I got all the time.
So a couple of the guys in the band I've known for many, many years. I was in bands with them many, many years ago before they who they were. I probably known them for a good 25 years. But I didn't know the guitar player. And long story short, Mark Zavon is the one that sawed me out. And they're like, hey, do you guys know Lonny Pasillas? And Matt and Dewey are like, yeah, we know him.
In a good way or bad way?
The past is the past, but today's beautiful. You know what I mean? I'm not such a... Can I cuss?
Yes.
I'm not such an asshole anymore.
Yeah. I was an asshole in my 20s, for sure.
Me too.
Yeah.
But you change, you grow up and you're like, oh shit, well, that didn't work out. Right?
Yeah.
So, but no, I mean, look at, aside of all that and Mark calling me and Matt calling me and saying, hey, you want to play? I was like, wow, really? You want me to come play for you? Sure, I'll come play. And it was like, now it's like amazing. We're like totally 180 from what it used to be back in the, we were all in drugs too,
Yeah.
Most of us were. So, but now that we're all growing up and like, oh shit, we're going to die before we live. We better get out there and do it,
Yeah. I feel like I'm healthier. I'm having like a midlife crisis and I'm healthier now than when I was younger, taking better care of myself.
Yeah. Gooder. Definitely.
Gooder. Yeah. Gooder, better. I feel like I almost look better than in my 20s. And because I was partying so fucking hard and you could see it on my face.
We all were.
That's nuts. Yeah. So you guys have been touring a lot lately. How's that going?
It's going great. We're having a great time, and we're pushing it more. So we're just trying to be strategic, because we still work too. I work, I run a business, Dewey works, so it's kind of hard. So we're trying to finagle ways to keep getting out there. So.
I sat down with Dewey and all of the guys in Kill Devil Hill in 2013 in Hollywood. Yeah. Wow. And we did an interview for Rock 96.7 when I used to be with that station. And it was really neat because it was like outside the rainbow on an old broken down couch behind a bus. Yeah.
How cool is that?
It was. I remembered how neat the background was and everyone was really nice. And I love an in-person interview. That doesn't always get to happen. So that's exciting when it happens.
And you're in Northern California, right?
I'm in Sacramento. I'm from NorCal. I went down to LA for 7 years. I'm back home in NorCal. Where are you from?
Okay, right by you. No. I have my friend here who's in North Cal too. She's actually my merch girl. I've born and raised here in Los Angeles. Planning to get the heck out of here.
Where are you going?
Just like everybody else.
Where are you going to go?
To Vegas.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of friends out there. All my friends are moving out there. I got a lot of family out there. Not far from here.
All of my friends from LA, because I just went back down for the Rainbow's 53rd anniversary party. And I was like, oh, I want to see my friends. 90% of my friends left to Vegas and Nashville.
Right.
They're gone.
What is it with Vegas and Nashville? I'm like,
they're gone. Yeah.
Nashville. My wife won't touch Nashville because we were actually looking at Nashville. She's like, nope, I'm not doing Nashville. I'm like, okay, well, then it's Vegas. She's like, well, what about any other states? I'm like, no, it's either Nashville or Vegas. I'm going more towards Vegas. At least that way I could get to the beach quicker.
Right. There's music, there's entertainment, there's, and it's more affordable in Nevada than California. But yeah, 2020, like everything shut down in LA. And so a lot of people went to Vegas to perform to pay their bills.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? A lot of them just lost work. Luckily, I own my own business in construction. I was very busy. Everybody wanted their backyard redone. So there I was.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That worked out well. Yeah, I flip houses, so it
Oh,
slowed
you're a
down.
flipper.
Yeah, it slowed down in COVID, but I have a chunk of change. I'm like that weird, I got a chunk of change and I got to be careful, but I don't have to steadily work. Does that make sense?
So funny enough, both of us on the side do construction.
Yeah. Yeah. I do minor when everyone's like, what? I paint and I clean and I do like a ceiling fan and a
Oh,
dishwasher.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't
I do
knock
major, you
walls.
do minor. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I make it
Ah!
look cute and pretty. And then I'm like, let me steal your money. That's like with the kind of stuff
Yeah,
I
that
do.
shit really pisses me off, Steph. Just FYI.
Sorry. I got kids to feed. I got mouths to feed. So I don't, it happens. So,
No,
okay,
that's
I
all.
want to know more about you. When did you get into drumming and kind of what made you want to get into music?
Well, I come from a family of musicians, really. I mean, I literally, my mom or my stepdad, they said well, I mean, I can't even remember, but I was 2 or 3 years old when I started hitting skins. So, I mean, literally when I was 6, 7 years old, I was in awe watching my uncle playing his marching band stuff. And I'm like looking up, like, I could never do that. I started playing parties and shows when I was like 9 years old. So it goes way back. I've been playing all my life, basically.
9 years old, like in a wild party atmosphere, or what kind of party?
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Were
a
your
big
parents
backyard
just
like this,
cool?
full of fucking people and the band in the corner. That was me at 9.
Were you 9, like doing drugs, getting with strippers?
No, no, but I did have a few drinks. I didn't get into the drugs part until I was 10. No,
No.
we're going to go with 12.
12. You made it all the way to 12?
Yeah, well, no, you know what? Here's the thing. I don't really consider pot a drug. So,
Yeah, me too.
you know what I'm saying? It's more of a flower. So,
When you're
we'll
12, it's a drug, though. When you're 12, it's a drug.
I,
No, not at 18.
you're
But
right. I'm going to give you that.
do
I
I want my
try to
kids
make it
smoking
all
pot at
right, but it's
12?
not.
And
So,
yeah, it's going to alter your brain chemistry. That's why I thought you were loony, but you're Lonny. So, okay.
you
So
got me there. You
how
got me
how did
there.
you start? Like who gave you a joint? How did you find pot?
Uh, my other step uncle, if that
Oh.
makes any.
What, they're either going to touch you or give you drugs. You got to watch out for the step uncles, man. It's a
He
fun
tried to
time.
touch me. That didn't happen, but he gave me drugs. So.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? The best people have got touched. Like my favorite comedians and
Yeah.
musicians and actors. If you
Uh-huh.
didn't get molested, you're not American and you're probably not
Right?
talented.
Yeah. I
It's
couldn't get
just,
molested because I was at 12 years old. I was bigger than most people. So.
yeah, yeah. That's hot. Okay, so you were drumming, performing at 9. When
Yeah.
was your first band?
Well, obviously it was with my uncle. I was in a couple bands with him. It's funny because it all reverts to my step uncle.
That's
You know,
creepy. It's creepy. Drugs and
the
bands, but now
the other
you're
one that
having
got,
fun.
I have several step uncles. The other one that gave me drugs, that's different.
Mm,
The one who taught, the one who taught me music, basically taught me everything: music, construction, just kind of like a dad. So that
that's
was
cool.
he actually passed away 2019 from a heart attack. He was very young, so that's a very hard thing for me in my life. But I had a
Yeah.
lot of shit happen. But anyways, he was a guy that taught me everything. He started playing guitar and bass, so he was really good at everything that he did. So I was really in awe of him. So even as a kid, him pulling me in, going, "Hey, you're going to play drums for us. Just shut up. Just do what I say." We would
Yeah.
play, we would play stuff like Scorpions and Van Halen and
Nice.
AC/DC. Like it was cool. It was really cool, and I did that for many years with him. From the time I was 9 till I was about 17 years old. Now, when I started getting in my teenage years, obviously I started getting out there and playing with other people. And I started playing with this guy, Dave Zaneski, who was with us last night in junior high. And he turned out to do a lot of touring for Cynic. I don't know if you've heard of Cynic.
No.
So they're basically a spinoff of Death. Do you know the band Death?
Yeah.
Anyways, check them out. But he He's an amazing musician. So I got with him for several years, and we started playing a lot of backyard parties in junior high and high school. And, it's always just, I always sought it out, because I would go watch other people play and I'd be like, I could do that better. And I'd
Yeah.
find ways to get out there and go do it, And so I kept doing it. So really, that's basically the bottom line with me. And then once I started hitting my 20s, I started meeting more people and playing with a lot more people, and started getting into harder drugs. See, that's where everything gets fucked up.
Yeah.
The drugs. Yeah, the drugs.
Yeah. I became a better rock journalist when I did drugs with the rock stars. I had to get in character to interview. That's what I say.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get crazy anymore. In fact, you would have probably saw me 20 years earlier, but I really screwed up with the drugs, and then I started having kids, so.
I get it.
I stood back for the past 10, 15 years, just kind of concentrating on my career. And I toured a few times here and there through the years, but these past 5 or 6 years have just been life-changing for me, just mentally, depression, shit like that.
Yeah.
So just going through, seriously, just going through all this weird life-changing shit mentally, I turned it all around. I said, fuck it, I'm going to call my buddies. I want to get the fuck back out there,
Good.
I play with Ira. I play with a lot of people that you might know.
Yeah.
So when Mark and Matt called me and they're like, "Do you want to play with us?" I was like, "Really?" We haven't played in like 25 years, so I was excited to play with them.
Yeah. A lot of us struggle with depression, and we got to remember and get back to the root of what we love and what brings us a lot of joy and happiness.
It's who we are. But I realize,
you're an artist, and so if you're not doing something in the arts, your body's going to be sad, literally, chemically.
Right, and it's true.
So totally you got to listen to your body.
Even before all this crazy shit went down in my life, I remember not playing drums for like a year. Seriously, it was like I put down the drums for a year, and by the end of the year, I was like out of it. I was done. So it was like, okay, that was wrong. And then I would get kicked out of bands.
Why?
And that would throw me into depression. It was like, what the hell? I would take up fishing.
And you would fish.
Do something.
It's therapeutic. I like to drink a lot, so I like to date people that fish, so I drink next to them while they fish. But I'm not into fishing.
Well, it's a backup source for depression for me.
Yeah. For me, it's sex. Have you ever tried that for depression? Like, that's a good way to not be depressed.
Yeah, I'm married. I've been married with my wife for 21 years. I don't know if that would really help me. I think right now what would help me is my drums.
Yeah.
That's what's helping me now.
Yeah, I've been married a couple times, and marriage sex is different from random at the bar sex. It's just
exactly.
It's not the same. But
I don't think that would help me. I'm not that kind of guy.
That's good. You're a good guy.
Yeah. Whatever, having sex, whatever. But as far as the mental thing is, I think it's more the artist thing for me,
Yeah, drumming. Is there a drummer that you have looked up to or like their style?
Several. Let's see. Can we start off with Neil Peart?
Yeah.
That's the number one professor in my book. I don't know if you ever heard of Sean Reinert. He recently passed away too. So like I said, Cynic, the band Cynic that my buddy Dave played in for a bit, Sean Reinert, he was one of my favorite drummers. I met him when I was like 18, 19 years old. You got to look him up. He's really good. And
how do I spell Sean? What is it?
I think it's SEAN Reinert, RIENART. I believe that's the right way.
Okay, I'll
It was in Cynic and Death, the album Human. I want to tell you a story about this guy because I've met him several times. My best friend played with him, so it's kind of a big deal in my life. So I think I was 17 or 18 years old, and Me and my buddy Dave, we went to the Whiskey because Death was playing there. And
Nice.
let me go a little bit further than that. Maybe a year or so earlier, I go to the music store. I had never heard of Death, and I'm going through, music, and I see this band Death. I'm like, I'm gonna buy it, just because it says Death, and it's
You're
Death.
so badass. You're
It's
so naughty.
it's funny. So
Yeah.
it's Death, the album Human. Just remember that Human. Look it up. You listen to it, you're gonna just listen to the drums because I told you to, and you're gonna be
Okay.
like, "Fuck, he's right."
Yes.
Anyways, so I picked it up. I picked up the album. I went home. Dave, my buddy Dave, came over. We listened to it, and mind you, my buddy Dave's a shredding drummer, guitar player, bass player, everything. So whenever he plays, I'm like, "Dude, stop it. Save some talent for me, bro." Anyways, so we're both listening to it, and we're both like, holy shit, who the fuck is this guy, right? So we jack off for a while on this guy, and we're listening to the shit over.
Literally jacking off with
everything.
Dave in the corner. Like you guys are both jacking off in the corner to this guy, or you're jacking each other off.
Whatever it takes.
You're double
whatever
fisting.
It takes to get through the feeling, right?
I really got to hear this. This is.
So, anyways.
And I got to get ready to jack off while I'm listening to the album. I'm there.
You're worse than me, chick. Come on now.
I'm bad. I'm bad. Okay. I'm taking notes. Okay.
So anyway, so we're listening to this album and we get into it. We're both like infatuated with this drummer, Sean Reinert.
Yeah.
So we find out they're playing at the Whiskey. I'm like 17, 18 years old. Me and Dave go. I bring my girlfriend. Mind you, the singer of Death is hitting on my girlfriend.
That's a compliment to you.
Yeah, you remember Amy? And so I'm like, if you want to do it, go ahead. I'll give you this free pass.
Shut up. A hall pass?
I'm like, she didn't do it, but I was like, if you want, go ahead, because I'm gonna go bone the drummer.
You're gonna be gay for the drummer while your girlfriend fucks the lead singer.
I don't go that way. Anyways.
Yeah.
Stop laughing. So, anyways, we get over there, right? Me and my buddy Dave.
Yeah.
We're hanging out, and they play the show. We're in awe. We're like, fuck, he really did it live. He really did it, because you listen to the album, there's no way he did this. There's no way he could play like this, But watching him, it was like, oh my God. So he's like, after the show, Sean's giving everyone high fives. Me and Dave are next to each other. He comes talk to us, and we're like, oh, we love you. He gives us a demo of Cynic, right? And Dave, Dave's great. He's like, you'll meet my buddy Dave one of these days. Somehow Dave gets his number. He gets his phone number.
Ooh.
And so he kept in touch with him. And then literally, I'm going to say 20 years later, Dave ended up playing guitar in the band for a couple tours. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, bro?
That's sick.
I'm like, Dave, can I get your autograph, bro? Because you're right next to Sean there. So that was one of my favorite, just FYI.
Yeah.
Sean Reinert was one of my most favorite drummers for many, many years. I still put him on a very high pedestal, even though he's gone. Rest your soul.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go on and on about drummers, but let's next question. Swipe left.
That swipe left. You shouldn't be knowing how to swipe because you've been married for a second. There's no swiping over there.
That's why I swipe left, not right.
Yeah,
hello.
on everything. You got wifey. Yeah. I love those stories. I recently had Lindsay, the bass player of Cold, and she was a fan of the band for a long time. And then they needed a bass player, and that's how she jumped on. So it's kind of cool when you admire the band so much prior to joining it.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Look, I'm playing with several people that I'm like, I'm playing with you. Yeah.
That you dig.
Holy.
Yeah. No, sometimes if I get to sit down with a band that I've been a fan of since I was like a little kid, when I'm 10 or 11, I do get a little nervous, even though there's been hundreds of bands. I'm like, I liked Marilyn Manson and Bloodhound Gang when I was a little girl. And now I'm like, holy fuck. They were in my bedroom on my wall.
Right.
And so that's when it gets like,
I still do that. Okay.
Yeah,
I still do. I'm in my 50s and I still fan out.
Me too. Yeah. Because you're passionate. I'm passionate about music. Yeah. And so when there's a band I've followed for 20 or 30 years that I get to interview and I'm just like, Oh, okay. I gotta be cool or have a couple drinks before I,
Yeah, yeah. See, it's okay to have a couple drinks to
Yeah. There's
bring
whiskey in
it
my
down a little
coffee.
bit.
Do you still drink?
Yeah, I'm not like an alcoholic, but
Yeah. That's what
yeah.
I say too.
Yeah.
It's
Look, I'll tell you
a
something,
wink.
and it's funny because on tour, at one point we got really serious. I said, you know what? I'm not going to drink on this one. And I fucked up all over the place. I said, fuck that. I got to drink my beers before I get on.
There's
Before I
a
get on
good
stage,
medium,
bro.
right?
Huh?
Like there's a happy medium. You have two or
Yeah.
three drinks. I
Uh-huh.
I honestly I dance. I'm a better performer on stage with one or two drinks. Now, if I get in that three or
Me
four
too.
drink, I am not as good. I'm not landing the turns. That
Right.
you got to be careful.
What is it with that? Right? Because some of
It's
these bands are like,
anxiety.
hey, don't drink or do anything before you get on stage. I'm like, bro, are you sure? You sure you don't want me to drink? Because I will fuck it up, bro.
Yes. A lot of us have overactive brains that are artsy people. And so one
Yeah.
or two drinks can calm down the, synapses in our brain that are overwired and
Right.
actually focus better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why
Can
last
we
night.
play this or that, or you pick one thing or the other?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Would you choose dessert or cigarettes?
Can I have them both at the same time?
I didn't know if you even smoke cigarettes, and because I don't know, it just popped in my head. I always do different ones, and the other day I'm like, ooh, those are kind of both naughty, and I enjoy both of them. No, what if you could only choose one?
Uh, well, the shitty thing is I'm diabetic, so and I really want an ice cream sundae.
So I mean, dessert could kill you faster than cigarettes, possibly.
You know what's really funny is the people that haven't smoked get lung cancer. What's up with that shit?
No, and there's studies coming out recently that nicotine can be healthy and there's positive
No, I've been talking
effects.
about you.
Isn't that nicotine has health benefits? There's studies coming out recently.
Shut the.
Swear to God, Google it. Google it. And that against COVID too, that nicotine would help you against COVID.
So maybe just chew it instead of smoke it.
That you could do Zen. Yeah, you could. I like those packets. I like everything. I love
There
a
it
good
is.
cigar though.
You know what? I'm gonna. Wow, nicotine is healthy for you.
You got to Google and read the new research papers. That there's health benefits. They're not saying overall it's healthy and in moderation, just like alcohol, but that there's health benefits in moderation to nicotine.
Well, ice cream sundaes are pretty healthy too.
Right? Especially if they're on a hot chick. So maybe that. Okay.
Not for my
Next.
toes, but for my brain.
Yeah, you're gonna lose a couple pinkies, but it'll taste good.
Right?
It's fine. Okay,
Yeah,
would
you know
you
what? I guess I'll probably just go with smoking. How about that?
Okay, cigarettes for your final answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could travel by train or plane, what would you choose?
Well, you know what? I've been traveling a lot by plane, so I'd like to go by train. I've only been on a train ride once, like a real one, when I was like really young with my grandma. It was like 2 or 3 days, and that was really fun. So maybe I'd like to do that again.
I
Maybe
love
not all the
traveling by
time.
train. Like, it's so awesome. Like,
Yeah.
America needs a better train system, though, because in Europe, the Eurostar is really nice and
Yeah.
comfortable, and I love it. But in America, trains are dirty. So we
Yeah.
need to up our train game.
A lot of things are pretty damn dirty here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you
I
gonna do?
like it. Okay. What would you choose between kids or animals?
Animals for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love kids. I really do, but animals for sure. I got 3 dogs and a cat.
They're easier.
Yeah.
They're fun. Yeah. Oh, well, I was going to ask this next question, but you're married. So we know. I was going to say sex
I
with
want to know
someone.
anyways. Ask me.
Okay. Would you choose between sex with someone new or relationship sex? Don't get in trouble.
Both? No. Next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up.
Would
My girl Tiff is back there going,
You're dumb.
you gotta
You're
choose the
dumb.
wifey. You gotta choose the wifey every time.
I do.
Okay.
I do choose my wife. I love her a whole bunch. She's my favorite person. She is my person. We'll get that straight right away. When
That's
I'm on
really
tour, let me get something straight with my wife, okay? I think I love her more than she loves me because she doesn't call me not one bit, and I call her 3 or 4 times a day. Doing, what are you doing? Where you at? Where'd you go? Why'd the ring
That's
go
so
going off? Where'd you
cute.
go?
You miss her. You have it withdrawals when you leave.
I do. It's weird. I call her like 2 or 3 times a day, and then when she answers, she's like, "What? I'm busy. What? Nothing. Love you. Bye."
It's hard for me because I've dated people that travel for work, and for me, it's really hard. I
Yeah,
really miss when
it's
they're
funny.
gone.
It's hard. It's hard for us too when I travel out.
Yeah.
I'll be gone 3 days, and she's like, "You got to come home."
Yes. You get
You know?
used to your person
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then they're gone. Yeah.
She's definitely my
Okay.
person. Definitely.
I love it. Would you choose between mountains or ocean?
Ooh, that's a tough one too, because I do love the mountains. I'm probably gonna go with the mountains. Actually, I'll go with the mountains.
Okay.
Unless it's the ocean on the East Coast, I'll tell you something. I went to the ocean over there at Pensacola Beach. Have you ever been there in Florida?
No, I lived in Texas and I'll say the Gulf of Mexico, that's the grossest ocean ever, but I have not gone to Florida.
Oh my God. I'll send you some pictures and videos. Or you
It's
might have, I don't
gorge.
know if I have my Instagram, but man, I went to Pensacola, Florida, and you walk out on that sand. It's like walking on cocaine, baby. Like it was
Wow.
so white. You
I might
can't really,
start snorting the beach.
yeah. You start
I don't want to do
snorting.
it. I don't want to do it.
You can't, you know what? You can't really justify it with the camera. I was
Okay.
taking pictures and sending it to my wife. She's like, "What? It looks like sand." But when you're there, oh my God! And you walk out to the water. It was just so. It was beautiful. So if I were in Florida, I would say beach. But since I'm here and disgusting, we'll go to the mountains.
Yeah.
You know,
But
mountain.
I will say, like, Malibu and Pacific Palisades, I mean, before it caught on fire, that beach is beautiful and warm. Where I'm at, our beach in Santa Cruz is really cold. Like, you're not laying out in a bikini, you're freezing in a sweatshirt,
By you.
So
My
yeah.
merch girl here is 30 minutes from you. She said.
Oh, cool. Well, if she ever comes out to SAC and wants to party, let me know. Like, contact
Come say
me.
hi. Come say hi. This is. I
Yeah.
want you to meet my friend here.
Okay.
Sit down. This is my merch girl, and she's gonna help us to kill Devil. This is Tiffany.
Nice to
This
meet
is
you.
Hi,
Stephanie.
Tiffany. Oh my gosh, I always wanted my name to be Tiffany. I don't know
Really?
why when I was younger. Yeah, I wished it was Tiffany
Hey,
instead of
that could be your
Stephanie.
porn name. It's all good.
I'm too old for porn.
She's not a porn star yet.
I missed. I don't think I'm gonna start now. It's a little
Yeah.
late in the game.
We're that phase is gone.
Yeah. I
There
thought
never
about
was a
it
phase.
in LA. I interviewed porn stars and they were telling me how much money they made. It's different now, but back in the early 2000s, they were making a lot of money. And I was thinking about it, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
You're considering
Yeah.
it. You're like,
It's-
well, if I had a career change,
yeah, they make a lot of
Yeah.
money. Yeah, if you're in Sacramento, let me know. I'm always going to shows,
Yeah,
and
go
doing.
hang out.
I live in Los Gatos.
Oh, okay. That's a bit of a drive, but it's beautiful out
But
there.
I'm always in Sacramento because I have friends and family in Sacramento. I was just there not too long ago.
She actually
sick.
does a lot. Just so you know, she does a lot of traveling. She does a lot of merch. She does a lot of festivals. So
Yeah.
Way cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
just do
amazing.
Vans Warped Tour and Aftershock now. I'm only
Yeah.
doing 2
Okay,
independently,
yeah, I'm
but
planning on being at Aftershock.
sweet.
Planning on being there. Yeah, I have my own clothing company and all that.
well,
so-
I want to be there too.
Well, then
And I
come.
was going to say, I interview some of the clothing company owners at Aftershock. So you need to come back to media and come by my show. I'll have a little tent set up in media and hear about your clothing company.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Shout out to signs.
Oh shit, you're gonna have to fly me out.
I can
Yeah.
Oh,
And you're going to have to come party.
Sorry,
Failed.
I failed.
You have to come party with us. Okay. Back to, so would you rather read a
Get
book
out.
or listen to one?
God, you're so rude.
I don't care.
Girl, shut up.
More the merrier.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you rather
All right.
read a book or listen to one?
Listen.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
fall asleep reading.
Do you?
Yeah. Mexico or Canada?
Ooh. Mexico.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Canada, so okay, we'll go with Mexico.
Mexico's
I'm
dirtier.
Mexican anyways. I'm a Mexican Jew, by the way.
Wow. That's complicated.
It is. You know why?
Wow. Yeah.
Because I'm generously stingy. Is
Yeah.
that right?
You're like a cartel member that doesn't want to give away his money and wants to
right,
keep
but
it
yet I'm
all
still
in a house.
broke. What's that
Yeah.
about?
You're like L Goldberg in LA. Like it doesn't make sense, but hey,
All right, next
everybody
question.
likes you
Huh?
in LA. You can't get mad at you because it's like you gotta like the Jews and the Mexicans, you know. So in California, you're safe. Just don't go near Kanye. I don't know. He's on a mission right now. So
Yeah,
let's
watch
do
out
it.
for that guy.
Yeah, that guy is kooky, but I like to watch people like that go off the rails. It's fun.
Oh my God. All right. Me and my wife, we're all about the housewives on TV. We like to watch people
Me
just
too.
talk shit on each other.
I love the Beverly Hills Housewives, Vanderpump Rules, The Valley. Like, what housewives do you watch?
That's all right here. It's all right here.
Yeah. No, I know. I used to bang a couple of the people on Vanderpump. So, you know, back in the day, it was fun. Okay. I have one more question. Sorry, we got off.
Yeah.
Would you go to a comedy club or strip club?
Comedy club.
Okay. Safe
I
answer.
know. I'm not that guy. I told you, I'm really not.
That's good.
Why am I going to go somewhere and get like tempted? And I've been there. They got bruises on their shit. They're on fucking crack. No, thank you.
The chicken wings. There's affordable chicken wings. That's why, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Affordable.
You got to look into the pros. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping by. Do you have anything else you want to plug or what's coming up for you?
Well, I got a lot going on. So yeah, Kill Devil Hill is going to be doing a sesh May 18th at the Dio, the Rockford Dio in Burbank. So let everybody know about that. May 18th. Sebastian Bach is headlining, so it'll be a good, fun show. Also, May 31st, I'm going to be playing a show with Jeff Young from Megadeth over at the Queen Mary, which will be great.
It's haunted.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll be out in Vegas with him in July. What day? I don't remember what date.
Ooh, don't go outside the building.
Don't go outside the building.
In July, you'll melt. Yeah.
Oh, I know. But it'll be nighttime, so it's cool. There's a lot coming up. I guess I can't say it yet, but
well, I'll tag you. So on Spotify, YouTube, X, TikTok, and Instagram, everyone can find you and check out what's going on. And thank you so much for stopping by Stefs Rock Show.
Oh my God, thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime.
It was fun.
Yeah, you have to come back.
No, for sure. Hit me up anytime.
I love it.